Why are you doing it?
Because God's children are not for sale.
Hello, everybody. We are here. We're at Golden Star, one of our favorite theaters.
That's right.
And we are going
Early
to
edition.
Early edition. We are going to go in and see Sound of Freedom.
That's right. That's why his sound is down.
My sound is down because I'm not sure how I'm going to take the film. I have a friend who's very heavy into the child trafficking, does some rallies around the area. So this is kind of like a touchy subject that we're going to go check out and everything along that. What's your thoughts?
You know, I tell you what, I mean, kudos. Seems like this film is getting a lot of headway. And a lot of people are really coming around this film and supporting this film. So of course here, before and after the movie, you know, why not us? Hop in there, check the film out, and you know, definitely give it its just due. But just like Art was saying, definitely a very touchy subject, definitely a real subject, and hopefully it just maybe awakens a lot of the stuff that's happening around. Sometimes, you know, it's okay to see it in the news, but sometimes people need to see it on film, you know, to kind of put themselves into that picture and that situation, like we all do with movies, and get lost as far as with our imaginations. But sometimes you may need that kind of perspective, you know. So, but I'm excited for it.
The cast is really good. Jim Caviezel, who starred as Jesus in one film, and of course also person of interest, and also Count of Monte Cristo, one of my favorite films. We'll talk a little bit about that, but we want to go ahead and get into the theater. Right. So we're going to see you before and after the movie.
It is the fastest growing international crime network that the world has ever seen. It has already passed the illegal arms trade, and soon it's going to pass the drug trade.
Señor Timoteo, tú rescatas niños, ¿verdad? Quizá puedas ayudarme a encontrar a mi hermana.
All right, hello everybody. We are after the movie.
After the movie.
Seeing Sounds of Freedom.
Yes, Sound of Freedom, Sound of Freedom.
It's one of those movies where it's kind of like you watch it and you're hoping it's
right,
but it's one of those that really kind of hits you in the heart.
It does.
And I think, and I before I go to Scooter, I think the performances of the actors. This is a really, really good cast.
Right.
And Jim, and I always get his name wrong.
Caviezel.
Caviezel, that's it. And I've seen him in a lot of things. He was excellent.
Yeah, amazing.
Just amazing. And we just really thought of his playing a real life character.
Absolutely.
A lot of times that really is really kind of hard. And they did some things with this movie. It had an independent feel to it. Just the way that it wasn't, you didn't feel like it was a big studio. It was like they put a lot of things together in it. So, Scooter, I'm going to go with you because we kind of sat there kind of a little open mouth.
Man, I'm going to tell you, it was definitely a eye-opener, jaw-dropper. It's going to take you on that wonderful emotional roller coaster. Great message. Definitely well put together. Great film. You could tell that the people that were in this movie and you know, Jim Caviezel, everybody, they were spot on for really putting forth the message that this film actually portrays. And I definitely got to take my hat off to them. Kudos to them. Like we normally say, if you're out and about, this is definitely that film. Go ahead and support the message after the film, man. It's never been to a film that I've seen where at during the end credits and stuff, man, they're so passionate about this film that they want you to kind of pay it forward. And for those that seen the film, they know exactly what I mean when they talk about paying it forward. But it's phenomenal. The message is good. The coming together of the people in the film, the people even looking at some of the producers of the film. You know,
That's right,
I mean,
Tony Robbins.
I mean,
and,
shucks.
John Paul DeJour from Paul Mitchell.
Right.
So a lot of these films, they get that kind of support.
Right,
And if
right.
if you do sit through the credits, you're going to see a lot of names
Right.
there. So
Absolutely. But definitely, I'll tell you what, it's like I said, that emotional roller coaster, but definitely a great film. And the one thing I think that they embody in that film, and they do say it countless numbers of times, is that it gives you that hope. You know, this is to raise the awareness, but also give you that hope. As far as when it comes to the message that the film does portray. But peace, love, and blessings. I enjoyed it. 2 thumbs up. I'd say pay it forward. And I mean, when I say pay it forward, go to the theater, support this film.
yeah, I thought so too, because
Yeah.
if many people don't know, it's about child trafficking.
Right.
And we follow the story of some kids that were taken, and a brother and
Right,
sister,
right.
and trying to reunite them, but in a kind of interesting kind of way
Right,
that
right.
I think that people will kind of understand the story. It's just 2 people's story, but I'm sure
Absolutely.
I know there's other stories out there.
Right.
And it's one of those things where there's lots of controversy regarding the film, of people talking about it, but I think that you have to kind of go see it and
Absolute
get your own
experience.
opinion
Absolutely.
about it, and some facts that were at the end of the movie, really good.
Right.
One of the kids that were in the films, the child actors, were excellent. There's one scene towards the end that I don't know how you would even direct this little girl and what she did.
Right.
It was just excellent. I wanted to point out a couple of people in the film.
Oh, yeah.
We've got Mira
Yep.
Sorvino,
Yep.
who I'm a real big fan of.
That's
It
it.
was great to see her. She was playing the wife
Right,
of the main
right.
character, and she was really, really good, just really excellent. And so we had some other people. We were seeing this Bill Camp,
Yes,
who we
yes.
really liked.
Yes,
He played
yes.
Van Pryl.
Right,
He was kind
right.
of like the helper kind of,
Yeah.
and he had a long speech in there, which was kind of interesting.
Absolutely.
Why he was helping out.
Absolutely.
I thought, oh wow, that is
Wow.
really good.
Wow.
So one of the things that they do in this film is that it's 2 hours and 11 minutes.
Right.
But what they do is they allow the actors to really talk. You get a kind of sense of why they're doing what they're doing,
Right.
and they don't really try to cut them. You know, and the director, who I've never heard of, but he did a really good job, and that's really, really interesting. The locations,
Right.
and so we had some other people that we had. There was one gentleman that I recognized from Sin Nombre, who he had played the father, and
Yeah,
he plays
Eduardo. Let me hopefully I don't mess this up.
There's a lot of Spanish
Verastegui?
names. Yeah, there's a lot of
Verastegui.
Spanish
Yeah.
names that if
That's
they
it,
see this,
that's
we
it.
just jacked your
That's
name
it,
all up.
That's it. Manny Perez.
Right. So there was
and let's
just,
not forget Kurt Fuller, man.
yeah, Kurt Fuller
yeah,
as the
yeah.
Home Security,
Absolutely.
the
Oh,
Homeland
absolutely.
Security guy,
Yeah.
and it's just a good story.
Right,
We don't want to give
right.
much away, but
Right.
if you do get a chance to see it, I think it's something that it's
Right,
kind of important
right,
to see,
right,
whatever
right.
your take is on it.
Right.
Some people believe, some people don't.
Right.
I have a friend that I know who's very heavily into this and has rallies, and so that was one of the reasons why I had a little hesitation of going to see the film. I didn't know what kind of frame of mind I was going to kind of be in,
Right.
but having this guy here,
That's it.
and that was kind of important.
it.
So
Keeping
if
it rolling.
yeah, I would
That's
say
it.
if you're
That's it.
going to the movies, try to go with someone,
Absolutely.
so you can share that
Absolutely.
moment. And you don't have to kind of keep that bottled inside. You can talk
Right.
about it and do it along that line. So.
Absolutely, man. That's
So
why
I-
he's a fly bird, man. I don't know if there's much more that can be said, man. That's like, man, that's a public service announcement.
Well, like
That's
I said,
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's fun because a lot of times I've always gone to the movies alone. It's always good to go with
Absolutely.
friends and family.
That's it.
And so this was one of those times that it was really good to have
Absolutely.
somebody there to take in all those emotions of a film. Because sometimes when we go to
Right.
films where, there's Mission Impossible, they're jumping and everything, we
Right.
know it's a movie, but this has some real life, based on real life situations. And
Right.
sometimes movies are supposed to be entertaining. Sometimes they're supposed to really tug at your heart, and this one
Right,
definitely
right.
will. So,
Right.
anything else, my friend?
No, all I can say is, we gotta give credit to where credit's due. We got to give shout outs to where shout outs are due. And Grizz, shout out to Grizz, you know.
Yeah, Grizz kind of sent
big time, man.
Yeah, Grizz kind of sent us
absolutely.
something and said, "Hey, are you guys going to go see this?"
Right.
And she kind of described her feelings about it.
Right.
And some other people have done that too.
Right.
We also want to say thank you to Golden Star Theater.
Absolutely.
We haven't been here for a while. We
Absolutely,
really like it here,
Absolutely.
and they are just fantastic.
Phenomenal.
So like I said before, we're blessed that the places that we go
That's right.
to see movies are really nice.
We were
and,
treated just like Creed, with arms wide open.
Yeah, definitely.
With arms wide open.
Yeah,
all right?
it's always
That's
a good
it.
time.
Yeah.
So we want to thank you, and subscribe, share,
Absolutely.
whatever you can do, and we're gonna just basically see you before
And after the movie.
How'd that make you feel? Giving a child his freedom.
Felt good. This job tears you to pieces. And this is my one chance to put those pieces back together.
Hear that? That's the sound of freedom.